Hello and welcome to the 92nd edition of Maersk's Maritime News. The headlines Monday, the 15th of November 2021. Shipboard Training Controversy Erupts in US after sexual assault allegations by girl cadet. India demands $1 trillion climate finance to cut emissions. New China-India Express shipping service launch. Inmarsat and LR to collaborate on real-time remote surveys. Our expert report on container markets. Since allegations by a US Merchant Marine Academy cadet of being sexually assaulted on a commercial ship during her sea-year training has led to leaders of 6 congressional committees calling for the suspension of sea-year training. This has since been initiated. However, students at the Academy have written their own letter in support of US MMA, the sea-year training program, and its importance.
Last month, we came across a case wherein allegation of sexual assault made by a US Merchant Marine Academy midshipman that a girl cadet on board ship is sexually assaulted during her last year sea training. There are no demands by US Congress for the suspension of sea training for women cadets. As a result, the United States Maritime Administration has suspended the women cadet on 3rd November 2021. This is an extremely unfortunate incident. Sadly, such incidents have taken place before and continue to happen. This is very serious and undesirable development. Such incidents of harassment of women should be dealt with very strictly. Strict action should be taken against those who have guilty, irrespective of any rank, company, and country. We need to spread more awareness related to those kinds of incidents. Shipping companies here should have orientation and awareness program prior to joining ship. Women cadets should be allowed to contact with their companies on a regular basis. This will also provide a sense of security and promote better performance. A statement regarding harassment of women on ship from IMO is need of the House. We look forward to hearing from the IMO in this regards. MUA stands for equality with women and will not tolerate any kind of injustice.
I feel that induction of women into seafaring is inevitable. It is not just a fantasy, and having some stray incident here and there does not affect the actual induction of women. And I can see that a lot of girls are now taking up the pre-sea training. In fact, just to let you know, my own company, I have selected 2 girl cadets who are right now doing their training, pre-sea training with Tolani at Chakan. So my company being Norwegian, Norwegians are always ahead of times, and in fact way back in 1980s, I have seen, when I used to be sailing on ships, I have seen several women like captain women and officers were women. At those days we had ready officers, and then in fact one ship I saw that captain was a man and his wife was a ready officer, and both were on the same ship and sailing together as a husband and wife, each one having his own job. So this is nothing new to the Norwegians. And having said that, India has, I would say, started late, but as it always happens in every field, we start late, but then we overtake the other countries, and that is exactly what is going to happen in the next 10 years. We will have so many women seafarers that this issue of discrimination, or so-called discrimination, will not remain an issue, because there will be plenty of women, and there will be a woman on every ship. So now, because they are in a I would say a minority, there are complaints and sort of a different kind of mindset. But very soon our people will change their mindset. I don't think Indians will have this kind of problem like what was mentioned in your article on with the US Marine. Indians are more I would say adaptable to these kind of changes, and women in shipping will grow. That's the bottom line.
At the opening of COP26 negotiation in Glasgow, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that rich countries should provide as much as $1 trillion in climate finance. Clarifying this demand, Environment Secretary Rameshwar Prasad Gupta said India is asking for such a large sum because it is also taking into account loss and damage. He was referring to what poor countries see as a debt owned by nations who are responsible for the bulk of greenhouse gases accumulated in the atmosphere. Rich countries' current $100 billion a year target is only meant to fund decarbonization measures and infrastructure that helps us protect against extreme weather events, informed Mr. Gupta. To speed up the decarbonization of the global maritime industry, an alliance of 19 countries, including Britain and the United States, signed the Clydebank Declaration at the Climate Summit. The signatory countries agreed to support the establishment of at least 6 green corridors by 2025, which will require developing supplies of zero-emission fuels, the infrastructure required for decarbonization, and regulatory frameworks. Qatar's leading maritime logistics service provider, Milaha, has launched a new express shipping service to connect the Far East to India, Qatar, and the Gulf region. The China-India Express service was established to cater to the requirements of Milaha's customers while ensuring world-class transit times, competitive freight rates, and timely delivery. This service aims to improve trade opportunities and enhance connectivity between China, Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, India, Qatar, Oman, UAE, Kuwait, and Iraq.
Maritime SHIO is striving hard to bring about changes to ensure the gender equality and neutrality in maritime industry. In fact, the survey carried out by them is an eye-opener to everyone. Being a father of 2 daughters, I can easily associate with the difficulties faced by women in all walks of life and particularly so in maritime industry. Ms. Sanjam Sai Gupta is doing a wonderful job by taking up this particular issue and has been really done this with utmost sincerity. The conference has speakers from a broad spectrum of maritime industry. They will provide valuable information that can draw a key initiatives that should be taken up to bring about gender equality and gender neutrality in maritime field. I must say that if Indian Army and Navy can offer permanent commission to women, then why maritime industry should remain shackled to old school of thought? In fact, they should come ahead and bring about the changes as soon as possible so that more and more women get attracted towards maritime field. I am sure this conference will provide valuable solutions to the maritime industry as well as to the authority so that new regulations can be brought in to bring about changes and ensure gender equality and neutrality as soon as possible.
Maritime Sea is a great initiative and much needed. I am sure it will bring in a lot of gender diversity, equity and neutrality and maritime field. I would like to congratulate all those who are involved in making this event successful. Globally, women have fewer opportunities for economic participation than men, less access to basic higher education, greater health and safety risks, and less political representation and I am happy that we in India are leading the show in maritime to provide more opportunities for women, which will set an example for other fields as well. I wish the conference all the best with suggestion to all to case study NICA.
The Maritime CEO Conference of 2020 was a game changer and a trendsetter in its own right. Because of the pandemic situation prevailing then, the conference was held on a virtual platform, and this significantly increased the outreach, and the numbers that attended was quite overwhelming. It actually goes on to prove that the world is keen to know more about gender diversity, is keen to see more women professionals in our field, and is keen to see that and keen to acknowledge that competence has no gender. I really look forward to the 2021 edition of the conference, and I would urge anyone and everyone to participate wholeheartedly.
The present times call for equality in all aspects, in all fields. The conference today is a celebration of this equality. It was a proud moment when the long overdue participation of women in the maritime field saw the light of the day many years ago. Today, through the SHIO conference, we reiterate our sincere aspirations to expand avenues and opportunities for women to take on unprecedented roles in the maritime field, thereby realizing the long-standing stance of gender equality and gender neutrality. SHIO shall conquer the seas and ride the crest.
I'm happy to know that the upcoming Maritime SHIO conference is promoting gender equality and gender neutrality, which is a pressing issue in the maritime industry. And I'm also delighted to note that the last year conference drew over 1,500 participants from across 77 countries across the globe. So that is pretty much amazing. And I would like to extend my wholehearted support for the Maritime SHIO conference, and also would like to know that would like to inform you all that all the cadets in Amar University are keenly looking forward, specifically the girl cadets, for the upcoming conference and to give their active participation.
This time the conference focuses on gender equality and gender neutrality, and we at Training Ship Rahman support the cause and request the shipping industry to look at the profession with neutrality and promote gender equality.
This year it's going to be even bigger event. It is very important for us to talk about women diversity, inclusion and equality. Women are the backbone of any field, whether be it shipping industry or aviation or any other organization. When you value diversity, you encourage more diverse idea exchange. A diverse team can lead to more and more innovative ideas. I have been doing that on a small scale by interviewing all the women seafarers in India. Recently, I also interviewed a NASA engineer from USA and we talked about STEMinist. This year's event is going to be attended by more prominent personalities, including but not limited to Mr. Kitak, Secretary General of IMO, Mrs. H.K. Joshi, CMD of SCI, Sonali Banerjee, Marine Surveyor at IRS, Sakura Kumar, CEO of APM Terminals, Ms. Gillian Carson Jackson, President of Nautical Institute, Chris from Wärtsilä, Willem from Ultra Ship Towage and Salvage, our very own Captain Gajanan Karanjikar from IMPA, and my very good friend Janine Drummond from Australia Integral Maritime, and many more. So save the date, mark your calendars. I have marked my presence, are you?
I really thank Sanjan Gupta for this concept to work towards the gender equality, gender neutrality, and in turn, women empowerment in shipping. Globally, there is a scarcity of women into the professional field. I'm very happy to see that the Indian maritime sector is leading in creating the awareness. Thank you, Sanjam, for this brilliant idea. I'm looking forward to the Maritime CEO conference, which is not a women conference, mind you guys. There are a lot of women, maritime women in India, like Reshma, Sonali Banerjee, Suniti Bala, and Sanjay Gupta herself have created a lot of awareness in the industry about the women inclusion in the maritime sector. I really welcome this idea and look forward to the Maritime CEO conference, which is all about gender equality and gender neutrality in maritime shipping.
As the demand for ship-shore digital connectivity has accelerated, Inmarsat recently announced an agreement with Lloyd's Register to work together on delivering LR remote services via Inmarsat's Fleet Connect. LR Remote will enhance remote inspection capabilities by allowing mobile devices to live stream videos, photos, and audio from onboard a ship to an LR technical specialist located elsewhere without interruption. Now, our container market report, direct from the expert.
A lot has been written and talked about the phenomenal rise of box freight rates in the container market. But there is more to it than just the rise in freight levels. It's interesting to see what happens on the port congestion side now. And of all the places, this appears to be coming from the US West Coast and the US East Coast ports. If you look at the port of Los Angeles and Long Beach and go back during the last month, there were more than 100 container ships waiting to enter and unload. And then there were another 45 ships that were due to arrive there. So it is obvious that ports are running out of space and containers. Containers means mainly laden, though it could be laden and empty. They are all piling up inside the ports because delivery is heavily delayed due to lack of railway wagons, truckers, and a deficit in container chassis. Now a new approach is being looked at. And what is that new approach? Both Los Angeles and Long Beach intend to put a penalty fee if a container that is to be moved by road stays for more than 9 days inside the port. And those that are waiting to move by rail can just stay 3 days free of cost. After that, a penalty comes. And the penalty will be $100 per container per day, and this could increase further in increments of $100 per container day. Let us look at the East Coast ports now. Savannah on the East Coast is also suffering a very heavy congestion. About 25 container ships have been anchored outside the port of Savannah and awaiting a berth. This situation is there since September, but the average waiting period is already between 8 to 10 days. Naturally, the ocean carriers will skip Savannah from their transatlantic services for some time. Is there an alternative? Yes, they wish to divert to Charleston as an alternative port. Interestingly, Savannah has immediately started giving the whole thing a new angle by saying that if a container lies in the port for more than 30 days, it will be moved to an off-site location and all costs and expenses will be additional. Let us look at the additional costs. Well, there will be a truck relocation cost of $675 per container, or if it's a rail, then a rail relocation cost of $900 for each inbound box. Of course, the terminal storage charges will continue to accrue wherever the container is lying, and the port authority has made it clear they will not cherry pick in doing so. They will be just following the best pick method for relocations. So congestion in ports is playing a havoc, and we hope that it eases down by the time the year ends.
Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for watching. See you next Monday.